You're watching Around Town with Henry Dormann.
Around Town is sponsored by Chemung Canal Trust Company. They're really nice people. Trust is their middle name. Service is their motto. And I like them a lot, and that's why I bank there. If you ever come by to look me up, I'll be in the vault. Safe place. What does a mayor really do? We're in Bath, and this is Mayor William
Von Hagn.
Von, like Von or Van?
Von is German, Van is Dutch.
Well, are you
I'm
German?
German.
Because German Von is kind of a very special title you get.
Yes, we don't tell
Long
people
time
that.
ago, no.
Yeah, Von is of or pertaining to.
Well, I wondered, what does a mayor do? And what is happening in Bath? Because it seems that Hammondsport and Penyan and other places are building up. What is happening here, and what are you changing? And what really does a mayor do? You look very distinguished with a beard.
Well, thank you. I don't know that I would call that the distinguishing fact. Maybe 6'5" plays into that. But so what does a mayor do? It's just about anything and everything that comes up before the public. So, go and participate in social gatherings, dedications. Those are the very simple things. Then you get into contracts, which can get very sticky, and those are not pleasant to work with. But then then you have the day-to-day things that people just don't see. And
You got to solve problems.
You do. You're working with many different personalities, and to be able to keep everybody on the same path and everybody moving in the same direction at the same time, it's sometimes difficult. But to be frank with you, we have a very good crew of folks here, and we work very well together.
It seems that Hammondsport is always in the limelight. They're opening shops, or they're doing festivals of some kind or another. And Bath has closed storefronts. What's happening to Bath? What's going to happen to the future of Bath? They have one great thing that everybody comes to, which is the Chatterwile for sticky buns.
Oh, yes.
But how are you going to revitalize what was really once the county seat with a lot of stuff going on?
Right. Well, and it is a part of our times. One of the difficulties is we did have a very, very prominent anchor store in M. Kahn and Sons that was right in the middle of the village for many years. But what are we going to do? Well, I'm working on it in several different facets. One, as much as it is difficult to say, it requires a lot of investment too. We've recently put money into a parking lot that, quite frankly, I had a reporter tell me he was never going to drive through it again until it was fixed. Mm-hmm. So we put some money into a parking lot. We have been revitalizing the Pulteney Park area. If you have an opportunity, you'll see that we've been putting a lot of effort to revitalize and bring it back. At the same time, we've also been working with other organizations, such as I've been working with the county, with the Steuben County Fair Association, Agricultural Association, the town, the village, the IDA, where we're looking at expanded uses for the fairgrounds.
Like what?
Well, just recently something was announced where there could possibly be a food hub on the corner there where the school is. So that would be an incubator type of situation for farmers. It would fit real well with the fairground. Then we put some money in, as well as the town and the fairground, the Agricultural Society. We put some money in, and we had a study done, a viability study on expanded uses of the facility. And one of those ideas that came out of that was a showplex type facility. So you could have animal shows, as well as you could have conference shows. So there would be many opportunities in that realm as well.
What's going to happen to the old school?
The original small portion. And so these are just plans at this time. So we have to let the process go forward. But the school, there's if you're speaking with folks that have been on the preservation end of it, There's one idea, and if you're looking at other opportunities. So I don't know, I don't want to go all the way down that road until we have some more firm information on how this could come out. This has just recently been announced.
Yeah, so this is another stall.
It's, yes, it's you mean in terms of another way of
Getting something done.
Yes, well, we're working on it very diligently. We've been at this for over a year.
This must be very frustrating for a mayor to kind of knock your head against the wall.
It is, but here's something that somebody in the Navy told me once. It takes 7 miles to turn an aircraft carrier around. Well, it takes a long time to turn a community around. And the continual investment that you put in, you're continuously investing in the roads and the infrastructure. We own our own utility. That's a very big selling point for the Village of Bath. Recently, I was told by a state agency that in a 7 or 10 county area, we have the lowest utilities of anyone. They're only one, I believe, in New York State where we have gas, electric, water, and sewer under one roof. Mm-hmm. So we own that. All of the community are shareholders in that, so you aren't paying somebody else, dividends to keep the.
And you're doing something in telecommunications or in communications
We have fiber that was part of an initial loop that was through a grant with a county, and then Empire Access came in, and we actually have fiber to the home. There are many communities to the east of us that are much larger that would love to have this. So we have low cost, we have excellent schools, we have low cost utilities, we have technological capabilities, we have an excellent school system. We're continuously receiving awards in the school system. We have many things that we're trying to put them all together and move these all forward. I meet bi-monthly with a group of people throughout the community for economic development. So we continuously are looking at opportunities. We also include the IDA in that as well. So there are many things that are working.
But I have to ask you something, Here you are, you're a former executive at Corning.
Not executive.
Well, you've been there for 30 some odd years.
Yes, I worked in diesel filters.
And now you are working as mayor and you get something like $15,000 a year, which you can't live on. How can you sacrifice to do this?
Honestly, there are many times when I wonder, am I beating my head against the wall? I understand what you're saying. It's not a lot of money. It basically is a stipend just to show up and make things run. But you have to have a passion for it. You have to have an interest in your community. I spent 15 years on the school board prior to this. Mm-hmm. So, this isn't my first foray into the public service. Over 20 years now with public service to this community. I believe strongly in it, and I know that this community has got many things yet to offer. We're working in many different areas. We're working on a 100% inspection of all rental properties for this community. And it's a health and safety issue, so that we make sure that all the properties that are being rented out are up to snuff for the tenants. These are things that help to increase the value of your next door neighbor as well. I mean, if you've got a rental property that's next door that somebody's just not paying attention, and it's going down, it's devaluing your property.
You're an optimist.
You have to be. I mean, why would you go into this as a pessimist?
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Around Town with Henry Dormann will return in a moment.
I'm Renata Steele, the news director and anchor at WENY TV News. This is home for me. I grew up in this area. I went to college here. I got married here. I own my home here. And having my family still here and those connections and those roots that I have here, I think give me a unique perspective and unique understanding about what is important to this community. This is home.
Life, it never stops moving, getting from here to there, managing long hours at work, juggling a busy home. You need a bank that keeps up. That's Chemung Canal Trust Company. Bank online. Bank with our mobile app. Deposit a check with your smartphone. Open an account at Chemung Canal and bank with us anywhere, anytime. Chemung Canal Trust Company. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Local news is important because it highlights what's going on in the community, whether it's small businesses or certain events that really bring the community together. National news, while it may affect us, isn't as important as local news is to the community. For me, it's pretty special because this actually is home. I grew up in the Elmira area. I went to an Elmira school. I went to college in Pennsylvania, not very far from here, so to be able to come back and report in my own area, it's truly amazing. This is home.
WENY News, the only local station with a full-time Washington, D.C. bureau, watching out for you.
We now return to Around Town with Henry Dormann.
Sooner or later, you're going to have a problem with either your ears, your nose, your throat, and you need to know what to do about it. And I have a fellow who has all the answers, Dr. Hal Sussman at Corning Hospital. This is a hospital that's really something special. I came here, he's my doctor, which is why I'm breathing so well and why my voice is still here. But I have one question. You are a doctor of what? I can't pronounce it.
Otolaryngology, Henry.
This is a mouthful.
Yes, it is.
What does it mean?
In plain English, it's ears, nose, and throat.
Mm-hmm. And you operate too a lot.
Yes.
You're dressed for an operation now.
Yes, today's my operating day.
How many do you do?
Oh, it varies depending on the complexity of the cases. Sometimes 5, sometimes 15.
Mostly nose or throat?
Well, we do the whole gamut of ear, nose, and throat type surgeries. Ear, nose, and throat, otolaryngology, is the medical study of all problems related to the ears, nose, and throat, both medical as well as surgical conditions. That can include ear tubes, it can include tonsil problems, ear infections, it can include throat problems and hoarseness, it include thyroid problems and sinus problems for nasal blockage and sinus headaches.
And one problem in the head somewhere also leads to other problems in other parts of the body.
Certainly, that's certainly a holistic approach to things, and what goes on in the head can affect everybody else.
Now, how does people who may have a problem with sinuses or something, how do they know when to come to see you? And do they come early on, or do they come for regular checkups? Or I come every year for a checkup,
Yes,
and you tell me I'm okay.
Yes, I do. People come in.
This is very nice, by the way.
People come in with all degrees of problems. Sometimes they're very simple and easy to take care of, and sometimes they're very complex and require a very high level of therapy. And it can vary. Some people come in right away. Very often they've been seen and treated by their family doctor first for some bit of time and may not have made the progress that they had hoped, and then they get referred to me.
Do you do opera singers too?
I have done professional voice people in the past as well, yes.
You're very talented.
Well, thank you, sir. So are you.
We must do more of these. What should we tell the people who are watching that they should do to prevent coming to you?
Well,
if possible.
I think people have heard the message from the medical community for many years. Good general lifestyle, avoiding smoking, avoiding too much alcohol in their life, exercise, and just good taking care of themselves, watching their weight, and living a healthy lifestyle.
These interviews, we're doing a lot of things with the Corning Hospital now. We're doing these interviews, and I'm getting all this free legal advice. Now, I have a problem.
Yes,
I
sir.
smoke a cigar a day, and it's a relaxing, wonderful feeling, and you say I shouldn't do that because it hurts my sinuses.
You can smoke a cigar a day, okay? Just don't inhale it.
Oh, boy.
Just don't inhale it, and don't smoke more than that as well.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Made my day. What should people know that you would like to tell them now? You're not seeing a lot of these people, but say there are millions out there watching us.
Well, there's some very exciting things going on, especially in the field
And if you believe there are millions out there watching us, maybe a few 100,000.
There are some very exciting things occurring, especially in the field of sinus problems. There's been a lot of revolutionary work done, especially over the past few years. Nasal and sinus surgery in the past has always had a reputation of being a very brutal and barbaric type of surgery, but it is no longer that at all.
Really?
It is a very minimally invasive type procedure. It is very often done with endoscopes, which are small telescopes that allow us to visualize the internal anatomy of the nose and the sinuses and allow us to very precisely, and again in a minimally invasive way, open and clear the nasal blockages so people can breathe better, relieves their sinus headaches.
Now, I had a stuffy nose, whether it's from plants or whatever it was,
Yes.
or the weather, and you told me to take some water with salt in it and to flush it out 2 or 3 times a day. And I did that and I feel terrific.
Yes. Well, one of the basic principles I learned in medical school was the solution to pollution is dilution. So the more people irrigate and cleanse, clean out all those allergens and particles and dust and dirt, that goes a long way in making people feel better.
Are you expensive?
No.
Well, you never know. People don't know when they go to the doctor how much they're going to be charged, but a lot of it is paid for by insurance.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank goodness for insurance.
Thank goodness
Where
for
were we
insurance.
without insurance? You have your operating cap on. Is that part of the rules that you have to wear that when you operate?
Yes, it is. It helps to maintain a sterile surgical field.
And you are a sterile surgical field.
Only in the operating room.
Well, I think it's an amazing thing that this hospital has gotten. I'm going to ask the administrator later on, but here is a hospital that they built new from the ground up. I've never heard of, in my experience, of a hospital that new. They've fixed up old ones, but this is a remarkable thing.
Guthrie's done a wonderful job with this hospital. It is the first new hospital in New York State that's been built in 25, 30 years. It is state-of-the-art. The operating rooms in particular are just a wonderful place to work with all the top-of-the-line equipment, and it's really been an amazing asset to the community.
Even the microscopic things.
Yes, absolutely.
These cost a fortune.
Yes, yes, very precise, expensive instruments.
Yeah. But is there any money left?
Money is allocated for the needs of the patients.
Well, you are wonderful to take the time to go over this. Really nice fellow. Now, if you need to get some advice or some thoughts or make an appointment, where do they call?
You can call the Guthrie office, the Guthrie Clinic, either
Ask for Hal Sussman.
in the Corning regional office, and I have other colleagues in Sayre as well.
Is there a phone number that they should call, making it easy?
Sure. Area code 607-936-9971.
What do you do for fun?
I'm a nature photographer, Henry.
Really? I
Yes.
didn't know that.
Yes,
What do you photograph?
Yes. Nature,
Nature,
landscapes,
yeah.
whatever my heart
Not animals.
allows.
Growing things, not animals.
Mostly landscapes.
Landscape.
I like travel as well.
Well, you must, I mean, this is a great place in the country
Yes,
for this. This is one of the most beautiful places in the Finger Lakes.
The waterfalls are wonderful around here.
I have some on my property. Would you like to come and photograph them?
Absolutely, I certainly would.
You have to pay me, though.
In good advice.
There he is.
Thank you.
Dr. Hal Sussman, don't forget, thank you very much.
Thank you, Henry.
We'll see you here. This is such a nice, this is the boardroom we're photographing in. Very fancy. Nice place. They have everything here. If you want to stay healthy, give them a call, especially nose and throat and ears. Right?
Got it. Absolutely.
Around Town with Henry Dormann will return in a moment.
Local news is important because you need to know what's going on in your community. You need to know the people that make decisions, what decisions they're making, because ultimately, it could affect you tomorrow. The news today, can have a big impact on the future. I call the Twin Tiers my home, and I've lived across the country, across the world, but something always drew me back to this area. It's very tight-knit, there's family here. This is home.
Life, it never stops moving, getting from here to there, managing long hours at work, juggling a busy home. You need a bank that keeps up. That's Chemung Canal Trust Company. Bank online. Bank with our mobile app. Deposit a check with your smartphone. Open an account at Chemung Canal and bank with us anywhere, anytime. Chemung Canal Trust Company. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
My name is Joe Veras, and I'm the Chief Meteorologist at WENY. The Twin Tiers is home for me. This is where I live, this is where my family lives, this is where we own our home, this is where my children were born. I love this community. I love the fact that everyone rallies around each other. People know each other, people have each other's backs. I don't think you would see that in some bigger cities. We know each other, we help each other out. This is a great community to live in. This is home.
Let's go! It's a big world, and now we're loving this town. It's our turn, so put your hands up. Don't be scared, take a chance. Come on, give me a hand. It's time to laugh, time to smile. Now let's get up and dance. Come on, everybody, let's live it up. Let it out if you can't get enough. This right here gonna make you jump, jump, jump. This is home. Hey, yeah. This is home.
We now return to Around Town with Henry Dormann.
Does he look distinguished or not? He's the senior, I would call it senior partner if this were a law firm, but this is a law firm that you get without being charged. So this is an important thing. He is Thomas Dubel, and very distinguished glasses, and he is going to tell us how you can qualify when you need free legal advice, because the name of this group is called what?
Legal
Law.
Assistance of Western New York.
But it has a law, U.S. Law in New York.
Our acronym is very catchy, Law New York.
Did you register that?
We have,
That's
yes.
that's a good line.
Registered and trademarked, yes.
Now tell us, how did people qualify? Because this is really a very good cause. And a lot of people don't know that you're here.
Well, thank you. I'll try to live up to your distinguished introduction. Basically, the best way to reach us is by phone. We are an old-fashioned law firm in that we have real live people who answer the phone. We don't use any devices to screen us from our clientele.
What's the number?
The number is 734-1647. We're open from
6607 code.
607 area code, exactly right. And we're here from 8:30 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. Folks can also drop by. We're in the Catholic Charities Building, 215 East Church Street. That's the best way. Just either come right in when you have a problem or give us a call. Telephone actually works best because our electronic systems are more available in that way.
And you actually provide this as a free service for those who can't afford legal service.
Yep. Anyone who has a civil, non-criminal legal problem in the category that we can handle, we represent without any charge, thanks to the many benefactors we have, primarily the government agencies that fund our work.
Do they take care of parking tickets too?
No, not. I hope that you're not been a victim of one of those, but no. That kind of thing, and anything in the criminal area we're not able to.
Is that criminal?
It's quasi-criminal.
Really?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you take care of even personal things, but not divorces?
Yes, we do.
Do you
Actually,
do
we do divorces. Unfortunately, although we're very grateful for the funding we do receive, we can't fill every need out there. There's just too much. So we try to prioritize our work for the most important cases. Those usually deal with survival type issues, making sure families have adequate shelter, access to food, health care, those kinds of things. But we do recognize that many families these days are troubled by internal problems, and that divorce is often a legal remedy that can help them do better as a family and as individuals.
If you watch television, which I'm sure you do,
yeah,
there are these law firms that advertise day in and day out about how great they are. If you're in an accident, call them. If you're hurt, call them.
Yes.
Now, you don't do that type of thing, do you?
No, we don't. Well, first of all, we don't compete with those people because obviously they're offering a service for anybody who wants it, and they get their fee in other ways. So we don't do that kind of case, first of all. And secondly, no, we don't do much advertising on television. That's why we're very appreciative of your coming to put us on TV in your show.
Is there one particular type of case that you do most?
Probably the in terms of numbers and just impact on our clients in the community, our housing cases. Homelessness or the threat of homelessness is still such a substantial problem across the country and here in our community. It's sometimes not very visible to the general public, but we do our best to make sure people don't end up homeless. So if they have a problem where they're being evicted, where their utilities have been terminated, that's a common situation for us to try to leap in and see if there's a legal solution that can ease that burden.
I have a feeling in chatting with you, and he's such a nice, calm person, but I feel that you are kind of gentlemen lawyers. Some of those who advertise on television make you feel that they're going to strike the fear of death in the opponent, and they're going to scream and yell at him and go before the judge and cross their paths in terror.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't do that. I have the feeling you're just kind of not necessarily Mr. Nice Guy, because you have to be otherwise in some cases, but very gentlemanly.
Well, we, as lawyers, of course, we try to vigorously represent our clients. My personal conviction is that our society in general and the practice of law would do better if we relied more on compassion and mercy and justice and not always look to the letter of the law to resolve our problems. So we try to show our clients that side and make sure at the same time that their legal rights are fully protected and that they understand that they have legal responsibilities as well.
You could be making millions at a regular Wall Street law firm, and you've chosen to come here, which is really close to pro bono, which means for free. Why'd you do that?
Well,
or are you just wealthy?
No, I come from very humble beginnings. My dad was a factory worker. My mom was a cleaning lady for offices like this. And probably because of that background, I've always felt that wherever I could, I'd like to help the underdog, help the little guy. And I saw law as a way to do that for me personally in a better way. So when I got out of law school, it was back in the days in the 60s when we were still inspired by Kennedy, and I went into the Peace Corps, and then when I got out, the war on poverty had started and money became available to do legal aid work, and here's where I ended up.
Thank you. You're a dedicated person.
Thank you.
With a good grip, too. And he is, as you can see, you can tell what a nice person he is. You're going to get a straight shooter here. Come by and visit them. Give them a phone call. What's the number again?
Area code 607-734-1647.
You won't be sorry, and it's free.
It's free.
You're watching WENY HD.